Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with an unboxing of the 1/6 scale Dorcus, also better known as Roks in the English version of the anime. And this model kit was provided to me by my favorite online hobby store, Hobbylink Japan, so links to buy your own Roks in the description down below. And I gotta say, this is definitely a really cool box art, and definitely kind of a style that I would imagine for the successor of Rakusho. And also, one thing that I really like about this box art is that it shows him in the most badass way possible, excluding the one thing that I never really liked about the thing, and that's his hammer. Now, when you look at the weapon on the right arm, you have like a straight up army knife. It's like a serrated blade. And then what did they go with for the other one? A toy hammer that like collapses when you hit something with it. I just never really was a fan of that juxtapose. I guess some people do like it. And of course, the big feature of the Medarod 3 video game was the meta change, so our Roks here can also meta change into a form that looks quite fragile, so I wonder how the model kit is going to be able to pull that off. We of course also get a variety of eyes, and as I always do with these Metabots kits is I'm going to put a piece of paper behind it because it doesn't really show you that well on the box, but in real life, those eyes look quite crazy if you don't put anything behind them. But again, that's one of those things where I can see certain people liking that. So let's open it up and see what's hiding inside of it. And with the A runner, I can immediately show you what I mean with those crazy eyes. Especially if you're gonna panalign them, those are going to poke through the clear plastic extremely well. And I'm just gonna grab the manual here, which gives you a great example of how they're going to look. So yeah, if you like the crazy-eyed style, this is definitely gonna be a model kit for you. Other than that, we also get many of the other pieces for the head, some parts for the body, and this also gives you a good idea of kind of the style of the Metabots kits. They're not super detailed, which is something that is, for me at the moment, especially apparent because I just got finished building the Gundam Astray Red Frame, which is a very detailed model kit. Then moving on to the B Runner. Now here we do see that they did include some detail on the parts, so it's not like it's going to be a super boring kit either. Then moving on to the Yellow Sea Runner, and here is something that I always loved about these Metabots model kits. And that is, we have like a stand here that is going to be used for some phrases you can display them with, and also target practice, because the poor Noctobats with every Metabots model kit serve as target practice. And so what you do is you have the H runner here with this thing that clicks into that, and then you slide in one of those phrases into that thing. Interesting phrases like, show me your power, I'll be your opponent this time, or my favorite, Char. Then with the D and the E runner, we get a darkish blue-purple color, although other than that, I don't really have too much to say about them. So we're moving on to the F runner, and it seems like they're trying to replace some of their polycaps with plastic parts, which might be a really good thing, because the one thing that I really didn't like about the older Metabots kits is that these polycaps weren't always the best. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the solution, but I will soon find out. Or, maybe they're not replacing the polycaps at all, and they're just included because they needed more of these particular ones. I don't think that's the case, but we'll soon find out, like I said. Also, interesting way of adding extra stuff to your runners, because this looks like it's going to snap at any moment. It is super secure, but it just looks kinda janky. And then we move on to the positively tiny I and J runner, giving us some nice red and black detail. Also, another thing that I really like with these Metabots model kits is that they do actually include an in-size medal that you can put into the Metabot, and then you even have this little lever here that you have to close. So that is some really cool attention to detail. Then the final dedicated runner that we're getting is the Y runner, which is taken from Rakusho and just includes all of the hands. And then the final parts that we're getting are, of course, the very nicely pre-painted eyes. Well, I say pre-painted, but it's clear red plastic with the black around the eyes that's pre-painted, at least on these two. And then finally, let's have another quick look at the manual. Although there isn't too much to look at here because unlike the Bandai manuals, the Kotobukiya manuals are more like the traditional manuals. It just gives you a nice cover, a nice back, again with that really awesome cover art, and then it just is a manual. Tells you how to build the thing, and it also tells you how to paint the thing. But again, it does have some really cool attention to detail because in the color guide, all of the colors are Metabot medals. So even though it is quite matter of fact, I do appreciate the attention to detail here. So with that, I think all that's left to do now is to call Mr. Referee and get this row battle started.
Meta fighters, ready? Metabots, row battle!
If you want to have your own Roks, links down below. Remember, more Metabots, more power. And as always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow with a review of this thing.